Hey up everyone, hope you're all doing alright. Before I talk about this build, I just want to remind you that I'll be doing a birthday stream tomorrow. That's Saturday the 26th of March at 7 PM UK time over at twitch.tv/HutchPlays, and that's with 2 S's. It was my birthday on Tuesday, but I'm just doing the birthday stream tomorrow as that's just like the best day for me to do it. But I'm going to be playing The Sims 2 for the PlayStation 2. Might also play Herbs or Sims 1 for PS2 as well. We'll just see what happens while I'm streaming. But there's going to be like party poppers. I'll be dressing up as one of my favourite Sims. I'm even going to be dyeing my hair for this just to dress up. And there'll also be a little surprise while I'm streaming as well for certain viewers. So if you want to come to that, it'll be a good laugh. And yeah, I'd love to have you there. I'm also streaming tonight if you want to pop by for that, where I'll just be playing regular Sims 2 for like the computer. We're currently playing in Strange Town, and yeah, I think I'll be playing there as well. But yeah, without further ado, I'll talk about this build then. So I wanted to do or build a suburban house for a while now. The last one I did was actually a Sims 2 one, unless you count the base game like Real to Sims house. I guess you could count that as a suburban, but I didn't go into it with it being a suburban. It was more like a small, I don't know. It were a big house, but it were like not, I don't know. Either way, this one I set out with it being a suburban house. And I was looking at pictures on Pinterest, as I tend to do when looking for build ideas. And I was looking through like my saved board that I've got, where there's like a ton of different build ideas and houses and whatever. So I was looking on that, and I was looking at like typical American sort of suburban houses. Like if you just type in the YouTube search bar Sims 4 suburban house, a lot of what comes up, that typical sort of like American suburban house, which obviously we don't have a lot of in the UK, but I do enjoy building those types of houses, and I think look really well in The Sims 4. Obviously it is a very like Americanized game because it's made by American people, but yeah, they do tend to look like they fit in well in The Sims 4. But I just didn't want to build one of them. I thought I want to do something a bit different, and I thought, do you know what, why don't I do like a Japanese sort of suburban house? And I've obviously like seen pictures of them in real life and that, so I weren't really sure how to go about doing it because I had a particular image in mind of what I wanted. This sort of minimalist look from the exterior where there's like not a ton going on. I don't even know how to really explain it. Either way, I ended up finding quite a lot of inspiration pictures just by typing in Pinterest like Japanese house or Japanese suburban or Japanese modern house, and I eventually came across a picture of a build that looked quite similar to this, and then I just used that for the inspiration for the exterior. And as you can probably tell, I built this house in Mount Komorebi, on this lot that's in the middle of this neighbourhood. I think it's the Akiyama family that lives here, and I thought that this type of house would fit in really nicely, like in this little area. And I used Snowy Escape, Eco Lifestyle, Get Together, and Dream Home Decorator for this build. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else, am I? Eco Lifestyle, Snowy Escape, yeah, I think that's it all. To be fair, I reckon that's like my ideal like group of packs to build with. I do really like building modern, and that's the sort of style that I went for. Kind of like somewhere between like Scandinavian, modern, Japanese, like a kind of mixture of it all together. Which is why I wanted to use Dream Home Decorator. I wanted to use like the modular stuff, and I definitely wanted to use it for the swatches because I wanted quite a lot of light interior. And yeah, so anyway, we're moving on to the interior now. We're doing the upstairs and everything. I also struggled a lot with the floor plan for the upstairs at first. I was doing all sorts off camera before I settled on what I'd got, like just the absolute most, every shape you can imagine, every layout. Because I did like the windows and everything first, I had to kind of figure out what would make sense on the inside, because we've got like this door that goes out to a balcony. So I thought, well, that would be the parents' room. Realistically, you probably wouldn't have that as a kid's room, and none of the other rooms were really big enough for a double bed. So I thought, you know, the way that I had it in the end, I thought it would make sense to have the parents' room be here. But at first, like I had space for only 2 bedrooms, and then I had space for like 4, and then I had space for only 3, but then we've got 2 bathrooms and a corridor. So in the end, I ended up figuring out the floor plan, and it worked out alright. But yeah, there were a lot of like messing about. It took me quite a long time, And yeah, I did most of the build today, honestly. Like, I did the exterior, and then yesterday I had a bit of a hectic day, which is when I started the build, and then I just finished it this morning and doing the voiceover now at 1:20, which I tend to record my voiceovers a little bit like, oh shit, that's the last thing, let's hurry up and get that done so that I can get the video exported and everything. But yeah, this house has got room for up to 5 Sims, potentially room for more. You could probably turn one of the bathrooms upstairs into another bedroom if you wanted to, or you could knock one of the walls through and make that like its own bedroom. But it has 3 bathrooms. It's got a little toilet thing downstairs, which might also have a shower, but I'm pretty sure it only has a toilet. But it's got a bathroom downstairs, and then 2 like full bathrooms upstairs, because I did one with a bath and a shower. Although I think one of them's a shower, one of them's a bath only, and then one of them is bath and a shower, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, thought we having like up to 5 Sims, you definitely need more than 1 bathroom, and you usually need more than 1 like place to get a bath or a shower or whatever. So I was glad that I were able to fit in that. But yeah, so far we've done a kids room, and then have we done the toddler room yet? I think we have. I am literally watching the build as I speak, but yeah. So I've got like a regular kids room, a toddler room, and then like a teen room. Could also be a second child's room. But yeah, I really like the colours that I went with for the kids rooms. I've got quite like pastel but yet bright bedrooms, and then I went with carpet in their rooms. I do tend to opt for like wood flooring and stuff. It is my favourite sort of flooring to go with in bedrooms, but I thought, you know what, let's give it does get cold in Mount Komorebi. It is like, you know, came with a pack called Snowy Escape, so it does tend to get cold and snowy and whatever. Well, in this part it doesn't. If you don't have seasons, I don't think it'll ever change the weather here, but if you do have seasons, then, you know, it does get cold. It's near a mountain, it's cold when it's winter. Maybe they'd want to have like carpets upstairs. I don't know, you can always change them if you want, if you prefer the look of like hardwood flooring. But I just wanted something a bit different, but not like too out there and too noticeable, because the room's quite bright. And sometimes when you've got like a lot going on in a bedroom and then you add like a different texture to the floor, like a wood texture, it can just be a bit busy. But yeah, anyway, yeah, doing the toddler's bedroom now. So we didn't do it. I do watch the speed build as I'm doing the voiceover, but sometimes I'll just like stare off into distance while I'm thinking about what to say next. But yeah, toddler's bedroom, quite basic, didn't put a lot in here. It's not the biggest room. Also, sorry if you can hear my smoke alarm going off. It's just because it needs to be like recharged. I don't know if anybody else's smoke alarm does this. I never knew they did it, but every 2 weeks you're supposed to push the button in to like recharge it, and it makes that little beep when you haven't done it. So that needs doing. Normally got a partner to do it because he's like 6'2" and I'm like 5'7", so I can't reach it. I could probably stand on a chair, but last time I tried to do it myself, I nearly fell down the stairs, so I don't do stuff like that. But yeah, just showing you one of the bathrooms that I did, and didn't want to like record every single one. It's a bathroom, it's pretty like self-explanatory what it is. I don't feel the need to like furnish every single bathroom that I do, because it is just really repetitive. It's just like the same thing over and over again. Toilet, sink, bath or shower or both, whatever. But yeah, just furnishing the corridor, just putting down some like little carpets and stuff, just a corridor. You don't really look at this an awful lot. It's just a thing for your Sims to get to places. I am trying to get into the habit of not overdoing it with like hallways and corridors and landing spaces and all that kind of thing. But it is sometimes difficult. I do have a bad habit in The Sims 4 when I am like building, where I have to like fill every possible space with a piece of furniture. So if there's a little bare corner where in real life you probably have nothing, I'm like, no, let's fit a little side table there, or a plant or a light or some wall decoration or whatever, which is like what I did in the entrance to the house. And I put down the little stone path thing. It's not a path, it's, I don't know what it's called. I think in like traditional houses, or maybe not even just traditional, but in houses in general in Japan, they have this little area where they'd like take the shoes off and everything. And a lot of the houses in Mount Komorebi have that as well, because obviously it's inspired by Japanese culture and, you know, the way that they have their homes and everything. And yeah, didn't necessarily do that with the toilet though. When I do build in Mount Komorebi, I do try to have it where the toilets are separate, because it's traditional for that. to happen in Japan, where the toilet's separate from like the shower and the bath and everything. But I didn't do that with this house. I just sort of kept it all together. And yeah, then just moving on to the kitchen, went with the blue swatch of the Dream Home Decorator counters, which I don't think I've ever used before. I might have used them once, but I rarely use them. My favourite swatch of them is the green one, and I was tempted to go with that. I started off with the yellow, and then I was a bit like, no, it's a bit too much. It's a bit too sort of bright and everything, and kind of struggled with the window because I liked the what's it called? I always want to say eco lifestyle windows, but they've got a swatch of them, that like light wood swatch that matches the Dream Home Decorator doors, as you can see there. There is no other windows that match them apart from like the other windows of that park. If that makes any sense, I feel like it doesn't. Basically, the eco lifestyle windows, they're massive, and I didn't want a massive window behind a counter because I hate how it looks from the outside, where you've got a long window and you can see the back of the counter. I hate how it looks, and I think it doesn't make sense in terms of like a realism standpoint, because behind your sink you've got like pipes and, you know, all of that stuff. Where would that be if there's a window there? Like, it wouldn't make sense. So yeah, then just did like a little coffee making area as well. Thought that would be like a little cute corner to have. Because it's like an odd shape, it's like a long room, you've kind of got to get creative where you put stuff, and I knew that I wanted to have a big dining table in front of this window, so I went with that. But yeah, did a little island coffee bar, not a coffee bar, breakfast bar, and then just a big dining table. And because it is up to 5 Sims, I always like to add more seats than the Sims that actually live there, because I always think, well, what if your Sims have family over or guests over or friends or whatever, you're going to want to have more Sims like sitting down together. Not that when I play, my Sims really ever sit down and eat at the same time. If there's more than 2 of them, they'll just sit wherever they want. They'll go outside, they're not bothered. They're not going to sit down in dining room and like sit with the family all together. No. And since they updated the eating times for Sims, like the person that made the food is always the last to eat, because they'll serve it up. Sims will sit down and get the food, and then that Sim will put the plate down, and then they'll eventually sit down, and I'm just like, oh my god, I just want to have a nice little sit down family meal. And it's really quick now, like it takes a really short amount of time for your Sims to like finish food, so you've got to be really quick. So a lot of times I'll get my Sims to sit down, put the food in front of them like manually. Like I'll get my Sim to pick up servings and everything, and then put them all down, and then all my Sims will eat at the same time. But yeah, most of the time I'll do all that, I'll sit them down, and then they'll pick up the plate of food, and they'll go somewhere else, they'll go sit in another room, or they'll go outside and stand up, and I'm just like, what? Why have you done this to me, Sims? Why have you done this? But yeah, anyway, I've just moved on to the living room, and kept this quite basic. It's quite a small living room, and I also split it off into like a little office as well. I thought there'd be, you know, maybe want to have an office in their house or whatever, and it also kind of breaks it up a little bit, because with a house where it's like long, where you've got these like long thin rooms, it can be sometimes a bit weird with the floor plan and like how you're going to put your furniture down and stuff. Because this like room could have been, in fact I was going to say this room could have been fine without that wall. Like it doesn't really need it. You could have just had this room without the wall there. And I was just sort of thinking to myself, I could actually get rid of it, but I won't, because I like the end result. But yeah, I do sometimes get that as well, where I'll be watching the speed build back as I'm recording the voiceover, and I'll be like, oh, I don't like that anymore, I might change it. But I'm not going to. It's done. It's uploaded to the, well, it's uploaded to my library. It'll be uploaded to the gallery before I post the video. So it's not up yet, but if you're watching this now, it will be up now. And if you didn't know, my gallery ID is HutchPlays, same as my YouTube channel. So if you want to follow me on there, you'll get notified when I like post the build as well. But if not, you don't have to download it. I know there's a few people that just watch my videos just to watch them, like they don't actually download them. And I always wonder like how many people that watch my videos actually download builds off the gallery, because like I rarely ever download builds off the gallery, but yet I watch a lot of speed builds, and I watch a lot of other people making houses and stuff. So yeah, I always wonder, like, have you ever actually downloaded one of my builds, or do you download builds that you watch speed builds of, or do you just like watch them for fun? I'd be interested to know that. But yeah, anyway, just moving on to the back garden, and wanted to keep it quite, how can I explain it? I didn't want it like overly cluttered, but I wanted it private somewhat. So I put up like a bunch of trees and some bamboo, just sort of repeating what I did out front with the bamboo as well, because I put some bamboo out there. And I just wanted it to be like a little private space, because the house that was here before was kind of like that. It had like trees around it and stuff, and I quite liked what was here before. I can't remember which of the game changers actually built this house. It might have been, I'm going to say it might have been Deliberative, but I can't remember now. I'm probably wrong, but either way, the house that was here before I really liked it. I like all the houses in Mount Komorebi, and I definitely liked that tree thing with the trees around like the back garden and stuff. So I wanted to keep that element of it and have it a bit more like private. Not that it really matters, because we've got a big fence and Sims don't look over into your back garden anyway, but it's just for my own like head, my own creativity, where I'm thinking, well, you wouldn't want Sims peeking over the fence while you're having like a little swim with your family, or you're having a little barbecue or whatever. But yeah, I just did this sort of tidy little plant area. I didn't want flowers, I wanted just greenery and like succulents and like little bushes and whatever, and some stones. I wanted it to be quite minimalistic. And then they've got a pool as well, which is a fairly decent size, and I put down some sun loungers. And then they've also got a place where they can eat outside as well. So I think altogether the houses are pretty like decent for, you know, what you can do. There's a lot of space for them to hang out with each other, and yeah, I'm quite happy with it actually. So I'd love to know what you think of it. If you enjoyed the build, if you enjoyed the video, let me know, and leave a like on it as well if you did enjoy it. Like I said, if you do want to pop by the stream tomorrow, you're more than welcome to. I'd love to have you there, love to chat with you, and even if you just pop by to see my outfit, because I never dress up as things, so I'm a bit like nervous about it, but I'm also looking forward to it. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a good weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye!